Welcome back. You're watching CNN News 18 with me, Akanksha Swaroop. And with that, let's quickly head into some breaking inputs coming from Kerala. CNN News 18 has accessed the Enforcement Directorate's plea in the Supreme Court that is seeking transfer of the Kerala gold smuggling case out of the state of Kerala. And the ED in its plea says that efforts are currently being made by the state machinery to thwart its investigations. The ED has also said that the probe should be transferred outside the state of Kerala for a fair trial. Remember, it was just some days ago that the key accused, Swapna Suresh, had also appeared before ED's Kochi unit. For more details, let's quickly go across to Ananya Bhatnagar, who's joining me live on the newscast. Ananya, what are you learning in terms of this key document that you have now accessed? Could you share the details of this document first?
Well, yes, definitely. This is a transfer petition that has been filed in the topmost court of the country, that is the Supreme Court of India, seeking a transfer of the Kerala gold smuggling case out of the state, saying that the state machinery is in fact trying to thwart the investigation and is making attempts to in fact also frame the ED officials so that they cannot, so that it can be a hindrance and the ED is not allowed to probe into this whole case. Remember that one of the key accused in this case is former IAS, in fact, controversial IAS M. Srinivas, who is also said to be a former principal secretary to the Kerala Chief Minister, and hence now the ED alleges that due to his power and his influence in the state machinery is making continuous attempts to thwart the investigation, and in fact it is evident from the cases being registered against the ED officials and the continuous tutoring of the witnesses in this case, including Swapna Suresh, wherein it has also been alleged that various statements under Section 50 of the PMLA, which are said to be a very admissible statement and are considered to be a fine print of evidence into a particular case when it's come to PMLA, is being changed continuously, and hence these are the grounds that the Enforcement Directorate has sought, seeking for a change of the state for conducting the trial and the probe into this whole case. The first choice definitely for Kerala is Karnataka. The case is being sought to be transferred to Bengaluru, but a very subsequent development, the ED is fearing that the investigation might be tampered with and the ED officials might also be framed in order to thwart the probe into this particular case. Because remember that high-ranking officials of the Kerala government and various high-profile people, including Swapna Suresh, are involved into this particular case, and such an apprehension coming in from the ED is something that is very alarming. Akansha.
And since you mentioned that such an apprehension coming in from the ED is alarming, I'd also like you to throw light on how the Chief Minister of Kerala, that is Pinarayi Vijayan, has been under the scanner for rejecting, probes by central agencies, whether it is the CBI or even ED in this case now.
Well, yes, definitely. You've mentioned it very correctly that in fact the attempts are also being made on the part of the CM, in fact refusing to direct the central agencies to probe it. And in fact the ED petition also says that since Mr. Sivakumar is very powerful and he has a control over the state machinery, various attempts including tutoring of witnesses and also registering of fake cases, as the ED says, against its officials are also taking place, because the CM is also under the scanner as what we know, and the CM is trying that central agencies do not probe this case. So that is the reason why the state is seeking, in fact the ED is seeking that the probe is transferred out of the state of Kerala. So a very subsequent development coming in. We'll have to wait and watch as to when the Supreme Court hears the matter, but this is not the first time that this has happened, that a central agency has given out an apprehension. Remember what happened in the West Bengal Narada scam case, that the Central Bureau of Investigation had to knock the Supreme Court, saying that its efforts are being thwarted by the state government. Apart from that, it also happened in the Rose Valley scam when in fact the CBI officials went to raid the houses of senior TMC leaders, and the Bengal police officials had stopped them. So this is not the first time that it's taking place, but a very subsequent development taking place in the Kerala gold smuggling case. Akansha.
Right, Ananya, thank you for bringing in all those details. We'll keep coming back to you as in when more information pours in. For now, let's shift our focus